Hello, today things are going to be a little bit different because I want to yap, but I don't want to show my face. So here is the first and only sketchbook I have ever filled front to back. That's right. I have been an artist basically my entire life. I have kept sketchbooks since I was 11 years old. I have kept sketchbooks for 14 years, and this is the only one I have ever filled front to back. So I want to start off really strong here. This was adorable. It was inspired by something out of a Lisa Frank coloring book, and I got to make it with some acrylic pens. That was fantastic. And then here we have got, I made this little folder. I like the folder, but here we have got a self-portrait made with gouache and some strawberries. I wanted to paint strawberries. I don't know, because they match my hair. And this one was fun. This one I just laid down a whole bunch of gouache on, and then I took I don't remember, it was probably a micron pen, and drew over what I had painted underneath. And this was actually based off of an old linoleum print that I had done, and I really liked that. And then this one, this was just from another sketchbook actually, a page that I had done with marker, and my friend had written this little playlist for me while we were hanging out. So obviously I had to put it on that picture because it was so cute. And then we've got a picture of a bee, because why not? I fucking love bees. And then one other thing that I didn't actually realize was in here, and I'm going to put on something else immediately. This is so cool. Where did this come from? I have no idea. But let's stick all of these back in the folder and get on to the next page. So after my little heart popsicle, this one I never really liked that much. I did draw something else that I liked a whole lot more, but I think this was really just me playing around with these markers to get a good feel for them. And the next piece, obviously I didn't finish it. I hated the way that it was turning out. I redid it digitally. I love the way it turned out digitally, but we're not going to talk about that. And now we're going to get into a little bit of eye strain. I was doing some neurographic drawing where you just kind of let what happens happen, and I had so much fun doing this. I did not do it enough, but the thing is, even though I want to make more like this, I'm scared that I'm never going to be able to get something as satisfying as this again, because I love this page in particular. Black, red, and purple are an immaculate color scheme. You cannot convince me otherwise. And then this was a little doodle that I drew. I ended up painting this on a canvas and making it a whole lot more whimsical with glitter and shit. Made that for my niece-in-law. Love her to death. She loves frogs. This one is juicy. God, I love how juicy this is. It is so cute and pretty, and I know, I get it, it's Easter colors. I'm sorry, but Easter colors are superior. I am obsessed with the pastels. And then this one I didn't like as much. I did like that I was able to go for a sort of eye look to it, but it just, it wasn't my favorite. And neither was this one, because the background I did with oil pastels, but the acrylic marker that I had really didn't like drawing over the oil pastels. I wonder why. It's almost like it's two completely different mediums. Speaking of which, the only thing that I hate about gouache is that I can't use paint pens on top of it no matter how long I've let it dry. And that makes me so angry. But anyways, I don't know if this number is important or not, so I'm just going to cover that bottom number. This is going to be a really cool page. I'm really excited for this. So it starts on this side, and we've got a whole bunch of swatches for different brushes. So Sharpie Fine Point, Fly C acrylic marker, 0.7 millimeters, Fly C acrylic marker, 2 to 3 millimeters, Posca, 0.9 to 1.3 millimeters, and then a Kuretake brush pen, as well as a small nib pen. I am so obsessed with the Kuretake brushes. The brush pen will forever be my absolute favorite one. And then just some random little swatches with all of those same things. And so we open it up here and we get to the swatches. Actually, I should have left that closed because this is the page on its own. That's something different. But you open this side up and you've got all of the swatches from my Jaime gouache, which I am obsessed with. I still use to this day. And this little bird here, this is actually the package, the plastic that the paintbrushes came in. I liked the bird illustration on it, so I put it in my sketchbook. And then you've got down here at the bottom, let me move it up a little bit, this was part of the napkin that I cleaned my paintbrush on, and so was all of this. So I just took Mod Podge and I glued the paintbrush, or the napkin I was cleaning my paintbrushes on, into it, and I think that was such a cool idea. I think it's really satisfying how on this side I had the colors and I was able to overlap the swatches to see how they interacted with each other, and then this side I had just the plain swatches on their own, and then the back I got this texture and all of these by whenever I was opening the little gouache containers, because it was jelly gouache, which comes in individual little containers and they all come individually wrapped. So as I was unwrapping them, I was smushing the wrappers down onto the sketchbook, and then I got to peel them all off at once, and it was really, really satisfying. And this piece I actually took out of another sketchbook and redid in here. It's called Stasis, and the words that are in it are actually from the foreword of Sylvia Plath's Ariel poem collection. Hardly a person at all, the voice burns to be more powerful than man. Desperate cries for control lie lost painfully in the debauched existence, yet it is too much. God cannot endure the savage hatred for some damn new world. I don't know why, I just thought that was cool. I really liked it in here. And we get back to some juicy neurographic, or I'm gonna have to look up what the actual term is, because it's something, neuro something, and it's basically just letting yourself get into the flow and express whatever you want on the page without having really any worry or fear about it. And I just, it's juicy, it's flowy, I am obsessed. This one is probably my second favorite. My first favorite is still going to be the red and black one that I showed earlier. Like, I don't know, these two, top tier. And then this was actually like the first thing that I painted with gouache in ages. So, these were swatched from a new set that I had gotten, but before I got the new set, I painted this with the old palette that I had, and I hadn't used the old palette because unfortunately gouache has a really bad habit of molding. And actually, they did make something for that. They have a spray for it now, so you spray this in your palette and it prevents bacteria and mold from growing, because that is something that so many people have had issues with. It's not even funny. So here are my moldy strawberries. Here are my even moldier strawberries. I love how this piece came out. Just the strawberries specifically, though, those are my favorites. And then this piece I don't think is going to get me censored, but who knows, it could. It is so cute though, it sparkles, I love how glittery it is, and it's just adorable. It actually inspired a new piece that I just did, which I may have to show off later, we'll see. And then this was something that I did, I never finished it, but it was just a couple of albums that I was listening to, and of songs I was listening to, and the goal was to paint the album covers within like 3 plays of the song. So I've got Pomegranate Seeds, Reverse by Minnie Mall, and Vienna, something, Your City Gave Me Asthma. I had a lot of fun painting this little one. I really like the different the perspective that's in it, and I'm really happy with how this one came out because it was just cute, and that was a fun little challenge that I did. And then the next page is Moldy Back Rooms. I got a cute little pink pool with little curtains there, and the tile, and the nice little sky, and then we've got like these green corridors that just are ever winding and you can never get out of. I had so much fun painting all of these lines. I actually quite enjoyed doing perspective, but as you can tell, I do not do it often. I never practice it, so it's like, I would probably thoroughly enjoy doing more perspective in my pieces, and maybe that'll be one of my goals for this year. I think it'd be a good one. This was drawn directly inspired by something out of a Lisa Frank coloring book, and I included the lollipop for it, and that's the lollipop that I redrew on this piece. I liked this so much that I had to cut it out and put it in here, and then like this was a tag off of something that I got from TJ Maxx. and I painted the background first, and I just stuck it all in like a collage, and I think it's cute. I love this little bunny. It's so sweet. I would absolutely get that tattooed. And that piece isn't finished, and this, juicy. One of the few times that I can proudly say I incorporated a lot of texture into it, and that makes me so happy. I do not remember if this was acrylic or gouache. It was acrylic. It's not reactivating with water. So this is like one of the few times I've used acrylic in my sketchbook, because I forget you can literally just use acrylic in your sketchbook. And this was based off of some flowers that I had. It was a shrimp plant. I just love it. It's juicy. Ooh, I forgot about this page. I laid down a bunch of tape, and then I just made a few brush strokes and added a whole bunch of little squiggles and doodles and some little butterfly stickers. I'm pretty sure I made this entire page as an excuse to include these butterfly stickers, but these little leafy branches are probably my favorite. I just think they're really satisfying. And this swirl and this swirl in particular. And then next, oh my goodness, I love this page so much. At this point, I knew I was getting near the end of my sketchbook, and I really just wanted to fill it up, so I was drawing whatever I wanted. Thus came the worm. I'm so happy with this. I love the way that the background came out again with the little silhouettes of the leaves. And then I just added some little, you know, wormy squiggles and some swirls, because why not? And he's just so happy. Enjoy your lunch, little guy. And then this one, ugh, I hate this one. I thought it would turn out so much cooler. And it's like, take pride in who you are. I don't make motivational, inspirational art like that. That is just not me. But I was gifted a coloring book for Christmas, and it was like the stained glass coloring book where the pages are black and then see-through. And so I colored a whole bunch of them, and you can't tell really because, you know, but it's like, that one's gay pride, that one's trans pride, that one's bi, and that one's gay man, that one's lesbian, and it's like, you can't even tell anymore, and it just, I don't know, you can tell I was just trying to fill the page. And then this page is the biggest mistake I have ever made in my life. All of this that you see on here, that's from a canvas. This was all laid out on a canvas, and I was really happy with the composition, because this was here, and then the beetle, the grub was over here, and this beetle was turned so it was down low, and I just really liked the way the composition flowed. And I do not like the way this composition flows, because it doesn't flow. But this had to be one of my favorite self-portraits I ever made. You can tell I was in a state when I made it, but I'm still proud of it nonetheless, and I am proud of myself for working through what I was going through and, you know, just trying to get better. Mental health is a really hard thing, and you can tell through some of my pieces that I really struggle with it. So this was kind of bittersweet for me to see something that I was proud of, despite knowing that mentally I was not there when I made it. And then I was there when I made this. Oh my gosh, look at this little girl. This is Moira. I love Moira. I actually have her on my art fight. I love her to death. She now has a sister, Maru. They're in a roller derby league together. And I just love this juicy little bug. If I start roller skating, it's because of this bug. Mark my words. And then that does lead us to the very end of the book. Whether I realized it at the time or not, this book has been years in the making. Years of trauma and healing, years of grief, heartache, love, and joy. I can see the influence of my past works, and I can see the new techniques being welcomed by the old. Every blank page is a fresh start, every finished piece, proof of my resolve. From the first to last pages, I have poured my heart into this book, and now that it's finished, I can begin anew, time and time again. My only limit is my own mind. I can continue to create and inspire for as long as there is something to learn. Here's to the years of trusting the process. You are part of the process, so trust yourself. January of 2022 to June of 2022. And there we have it. The end of the sketchbook. Like I said, I have kept sketchbooks for literally over 14 years, and this has been the only sketchbook I have managed to finish. And in the process of finishing it, one thing that I learned was to let myself tear pages out and let myself glue things in. It was seriously like, oh God, I know it sounds so stupid because it's so obvious, but like, you're allowed to take pages out of your sketchbook. It doesn't need to be 120 complete pages. Let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Okay, so yeah, 26 actual pages. There are maybe 30 completed pieces of work in here compared to what was originally like a 100-page sketchbook. So please tear things out, glue things in, have fun with it. Like, oh my gosh, that was probably the most freeing thing I could have let myself do. And not only that, but like, it sounds scary, right? Like, at that rate, I tore out 70 pages from this sketchbook. Holy cow. But on the flip side, there are over 30 completed works in this sketchbook. 30 things that I have finished. And that is just crazy. Not that. I'm not proud of you. Where's the worm? Let's go back to the worm. Sorry, I want to end this on something that I'm proud of. But that being said, I hope that you can get some ideas from this, and I hope that you have fun filling your own sketchbooks. Is that something that you struggle with? Are you like me? Do you have a hoard of like 15 sketchbooks, all of which are completed maybe 3/4 of the way through and then abandoned in the last 25%? Or are you the complete opposite? Are you not allowed to buy a new sketchbook until you finish it? Either way, let me know and tell me what your favorite piece is. Thank you so much for going through my art with me today, and have a wonderful evening.